Now, in the last episode, we talked about something very, very important, and that is the power of absolutes to help you deal and contend with disappointment. Disappointment, as we said, can lead to discouragement, which is a loss of confidence, a loss of enthusiasm, and a dispiritedness. You become empty. You become a shell. You become the walking dead. You take yourself out of the fight. You take yourself out of the pursuit. You stop going after what it is that you say that you want. Now, discouragement doesn't come on at once. You don't get discouraged after one disappointment, right? Disappointment has to happen numerous times for discouragement to finally set in. Why? Because you might have one disappointment, two disappointments, but you still believe. After a long time of disappointment, you finally lose that hope. You lose that confidence in the world, yourself, people. And that's when discouragement sets in and you start to lose your spirit. You become that walking dead. Now, in contending with disappointment, the important thing is to take, as some people say, you can just don't put any expectations on people. As I said before, that doesn't work because you're always going to have an expectation. Someone makes you a promise they're going to do something, you have an expectation. But if you can do something even better, if you can keep your mind and your heart on the absolutes, on the things that are sure, the things that are unchanging, the things that don't move no matter what anybody does, no matter what circumstances change, these things don't change. Again, I used in the last episode the examples of like laws of flight and electricity and the sun and the moon and mathematics, how sure these things are. Because it doesn't matter what circumstances change, these things are still going to be true. There's still going to be, 2 + 2 = 4. That doesn't change. Your house can burn down, all your family can die, and everything can be destroyed around you, and 2 + 2 will still equal 4. Honey, there are absolutes in this world. There are things that are unchanging in this world that you can have confidence in, because the same things like mathematics will change your life. Even if your house burns down, you lose everything that you have, you can create a new life. You can change and become something completely different just based on those absolute laws and principles that are in this world. Think about that. Because if you're focused too much upon people, you're going to think, well, nobody loves me. Nobody's ever going to support me. It's always going to be like this for me. I'm the abused one. I'm the victim. I'm the one who always has the dark clouds over me. I've lost everything. No. You can apply principles that are proven and established in this world that have nothing to do with you and me, but we can use them to create something brand new, something that will give us the life that we want, something that will change the circumstances that we so desperately want to change. It doesn't matter how great your loss is. There are principles that you can use to still create the life that you want. That's how you avoid discouragement. That is how you put to death the disappointments in your life. Now, part of the problem is that when we have these disappointments, we express them, especially to the people that we're disappointed in. I've had this happen before with my kids at times when they do something wrong or whatever, and this was a long time ago, and they knew I was disappointed. And so that concerned them. They did not want their father to be disappointed in them. And so they would say that. They would say, Dad, are you disappointed in me? And I would say, well, yes and no. I don't like what happened, but I understand where you are in life. I understand, the nature of our hearts. I understand the factors that are all involved. I know you did not do something or not do something intentionally against me. So I'm not going to be offended by that. So as I've always told my kids, if you really want to impress me, if you really want to make your dad happy, it's not blow a bunch of sunshine up my ass. Don't tell me how wonderful I am. Don't, try and do everything right just so you make dad happy. I don't care about that stuff. If you really want to please your father, then I want you to love the absolutes. I want you to love wisdom. I want you to love the principles that give you sound judgment in the affairs of life, the things that govern life. Love that. Practice that. Share that. Exemplify that. Do that. Surround yourself with people that celebrate those things. And so, then I didn't have, they knew that it had nothing to do with me and them. It had to do with the fact that we are all subject as human beings to the principles that govern this world. You and I are never going to disprove the laws of mathematics. If we all step off a cliff, we're all going to fall and die. We're not going to break these laws. The laws will break us. And the more this really gets down into your heart, and the more you begin to understand it, it is going to release a tremendous peace in you, and a tremendous assurance in you, and a confidence in you, where you're going to become less moved by the circumstances around you. You're going to become less moved by what you see around you, because although circumstances may move like waves and trees blown in the wind, you yourself are established upon things that don't move: absolutes, truth, knowledge, understanding, wisdom. Your life is established upon things that are not moving. They can't easily be uprooted or moved away. They are solid. They're embedded into the ground. And these are the things that we build a life on. If we go out to, if I just go out to my backyard here and try and build another house and just kind of maybe just flatten, clear the tree and just kind of flatten the surface, and then just lay some wood down and start building it all up without, that serious deep digging and concrete and pillars and all that stuff, the foundation. If I just start building the house, I could make a beautiful looking house, but what's going to happen as soil moves, as rains come, as storms, and what's going to happen to that house? Within no time, it's going to just crumble and crack and eventually become nothing. Doesn't matter how pretty it is and whether I use the best wood and hire the best electricians and decorate, it doesn't matter. If that foundation is not solid, if that foundation is not really, really deep and strong and fortified, everything I build up top means absolutely nothing, because it's going to collapse under the first threat of storm or wind or whatever. So your life, it gets blown to and fro because of disappointment. It gets blown to and fro because of circumstances, because that's what you've got your eye on. Instead of always be thinking about the fact that there are absolutes, truth is absolute. And you need to be meditating and thinking and going over in your mind the principles that govern achievement, the principles that govern personal change, the principles that govern success. You focus on these things. You take your eyes off this other stuff, and I guarantee you disappointment will lose its grip on you. Can you dig it? I hope you can.